from the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
My favorite time of the year. The air is cold and it's starting to feel a little bit like winter break.
And you know what that means? Our analysts have prepared their final grades for UNC's teams.
And I hope that my final grades look better than what Alden is planning to do with Carolina football. So good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Bethany Pryor.
And I'm Madeline Haichu. Thanks for joining us.
One team not disappointing Carolina fans is the UNC women's basketball team as they took on South Dakota State for the opening game of the 2025 Cancun Challenge for Thanksgiving basketball. India Navarre wrote history for herself and the Tar Heels, recording the second triple-double in Carolina women's basketball history. She started the game off with an electric three-pointer, giving Carolina a 9-0 lead. Elena Aronsalo and Nyla Brooks both scored 14 points, bringing a strong offensive presence for the Heels. Another strong offensive player, Nyla Harris, started her 12-point streak with a swish 2 minutes left in the third. On the defensive side, Carolina had 15 steals in the game. Navarre's 10th steal completed her triple-double. The Heels gave South Dakota their first loss of the season, winning the game 83-48. For the second match up in Cancun, UNC faced Kansas State. The first quarter lit fire under the Heels after falling behind to Kansas to start. Carolina made a comeback. Lainey Grant assisted India Navarre, who nailed a three-point jumper to tie the game at 15. The Heels created a big lead, 50-32, heading into the third. When the point margin narrowed, Nyla Brooks netted yet another three, solidifying Carolina's dominance. Carolina drained 14 from behind the arc, matching the program's single-game record, and defeated K-State 85-73. Carolina ended Cancun play against Columbia on Saturday after going down 6-4. North Carolina responded when Elena Aronsalo and Lainey Grant each cashed three-pointers to take a 4-point lead. Columbia cut the deficit to 1 before a 6-0 UNC run capped off a no-look dish by Aronsalo to Layla Hull for the right-wing three-pointer. Leading 35-31 at the half, UNC's offense broke through in the third after Grant grabbed the ball, then found Toomey for the and-one lay-in. Up 57-49, North Carolina exploded for a 9-0 run in the fourth, with India Navarre swishing a transition layup to give the Tar Heels a 19-point advantage. UNC wins 80-63. After sweeping their opponents in Cancun, the number 12 Tar Heels will travel to Austin to take on number 4 Texas this Thursday at 7 p.m. Women's basketball fans definitely had something to be thankful for this weekend. Now, our women's basketball analyst, Jason Pattison, tells us more about India Navarre's impressive performance. Jason.
Thank you, Bethany. Navarre dropped the second triple-double in UNC women's basketball history, the fourth in UNC basketball history together. She did that against South Dakota with 13 points, 12 boards, and 10 steals, tying the program single-game record for steals. Let's take a look at one of those. So right now she's going to play. She is splitting two players right now as a defender. She's playing help on this player on ball. And then she's right there, but she sees the pass going in to the middle, and she's going to stay in that lane and then pop it up to herself. Then she's going to take it down the court and find an open teammate. That's going to be, Jordan Zubik for three. And this next play, one of our more electric ones from the weekend, she's going to get this rebound off of a missed three, and then she's going to square her defender up, and then she's going to make a little inside move, then break to the outside, just easy like that, straight to the lane. Navarre had her fun against South Dakota. Elena Aronsalo had her season high in points with 14 against the Jackrabbits, and freshman Nyla Brooks looked very comfortable, scoring 14 points herself. Their next opponent, Texas, hasn't been sleeping, however, beating third-ranked UCLA and fourth-ranked South Carolina over the break. The Tar Heels are going to need to play their best game if they even want a shot to win on Thursday against this super team. Back to you at the desk, Maddie.
Thanks, Jason. Now, Thanksgiving brought many sweet treats, and men's basketball was hoping for more of the same against Michigan State in their second game of Fort Myers tip-off. The Tar Heels and the number 11 Spartans were neck and neck for much of their first half until Jeremy Fears Jr. and Cam Ward gave Michigan State a 5-point advantage heading into the half.
It was the second frame, however, where the Spartans exploded on all offensive cylinders, shooting 62% from the field and recording 28 points in the paint. Caleb Wilson and Henry Vassar tried to keep Carolina afloat, combining for 31 points in the 74-58 loss. UNC ended the day with a season worst 38.2% from the field, a season worst 17.4% from three, and a season low 9 assists. UNC travels to Kentucky for a blue blood showdown tomorrow.
Maddie, I'm really excited to see what the Heels can bring in this game, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking. Shooting must improve. The shot season worst from both threes and the field, and they're going to have to clean it up looking towards Kentucky.
Yes, and Henry Vassar and Caleb Wilson are dominant and dynamic on the inside, but whenever they get in a little bit of foul trouble and need to come off, the bench is not showing up they're not showing the support that they need.
That's right, Maddie. I'm really hoping that the bench can bring what we need from them. We can't rely on two players. Basketball's a team sport, so we need to rely on the others as well. But passive defense and wanting to play with faster tempo obviously does not work, so we need to figure that out looking forward to Kentucky.
Yeah, it's going to be an ACC-SEC challenge, and the Wildcats won the last two matchups, so let's see how this game goes. Carolina basketball is known for its championships, and one man has been a part of the behind the scenes for nearly 4 decades. Here's Kaya Williams.
In Chapel Hill, the banners speak for themselves. 6 national championships, countless memorable moments, and a tradition that stretches far beyond the hardwood floor. Behind Carolina basketball is a steady presence who has helped tell its story. Sports Information Director Steve Kirshner is now entering his 37th season.
Whether it's going to so many Final Fours and being a part of 4 teams that won national championships and working with so many Hall of Fame coaches and players and National Players of the Year and great games, great rivalries, things like that. It's just been an absolute privilege.
I'm here at the Woody Durham Media and Communications Center, where Steve conducts most of his work. While he considers himself fortunate to be part of Carolina for so long, he has used his privilege to open doors for students breaking into sports media, creating opportunities that reach well beyond the court.
Ensuring that he can utilize student talent to its fullest potential and ensuring that we can kind of find a way to work with the school.
At the same time, Kirshner continues balancing the demands of national coverage with the fast-paced world of digital media.
We still deal with local TV, we still deal with ESPN and national media, but at the same time our student athletes and our programs are reaching out and connecting with fans directly through social media. College athletics is advancing and you've got to be able to adapt to it and be flexible to it and work with it.
Adapting to change is important, but it's the relationships within Carolina basketball that have kept him passionate.
There are great individual moments, like RJ scoring 42 points in a game, or Tyler Hansbrough breaking all the records he broke. Getting a chance to meet people like an Eric Montross and a Hubert Davis and a Roy Williams, that's been a real blessing.
I'm Kaya Williams, reporting.
Steve has been here for it all. He's seen some big wins and some big losses, but let's see how our football team is doing.
Yeah, Maddie, the football team traveled to Raleigh on Saturday night for their Thanksgiving matchup against the NC State Wolfpack, hoping to end a dismal season on a high note. NC State wasted no time, striking first and scoring on back-to-back drives as they take control early. The Tar Heels answered with their best drive of the night. After moving down the field, Gio Lopez found Jordan Shipp in the end zone to put the Tar Heels on the board. Now, despite Carolina field goal cutting the lead to 11, the Wolfpack responded again, finding the end zone on every first half possession and piling up yards to stay firmly in control. Even with a late push, the Tar Heels dug a hole too deep to recover from, falling to the Wolfpack 42-19, losing for the 5th year in a row and bringing it into a disappointing season for first-year head coach Bill Belichick. I'm joined right now with Alden Archdeacon, the long-anticipated grade that we're getting for UNC football. But let's start where we just left off with NC State. What did you see from this game?
Yeah, look, a lot went wrong, but it was kind of what happened all season long. The offense could never get going, and then the defense did not play well against a good offense. I mean, we saw Will Wilson and C.J. Bailey, NC State's 2 quarterbacks. Wilson had 4 rushing touchdowns on the day. C.J. Bailey had 2 passing touchdowns. They controlled this game from start to finish, and UNC can never get it going.
Yeah, UNC, we've seen this happen over and over and over again in every game, so I really think it was a storybook ending to our season. Really just showed what we've been giving all season, but we also just played messy football. We had so many penalties, gave them so many free yards. It was just really messy to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. 12 penalties, 129 yards, unacceptable from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, really disappointing ending, but what grade are we going to give to this really upsetting season?
I think it's going to be the worst grade of all the Carolina teams. It's got to be a D-. I mean, look, they only had 4 wins on the season. They didn't make a bowl game for the first time since 2018. And look, expectations were higher than this. Media projected them to finish 8th in the ACC. I said they made the ACC title game. You said only 3-4 losses, so not great.
Yeah, really, really disappointing season. But if you were to tell me that Duke made the ACC title game over us, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. UNC has to come on the rise next season. So what are we looking forward to in the postseason?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, they got to go out and they got to get a big-name quarterback, high profile in the transfer portal. I mean, they need to have a more dynamic offense moving forward, get some surrounding players around them, keep Jordan Shipp, and hopefully, like Bill Belichick said in the press conference, they can start to build on this and get better because there's a lot of work left to do.
Yeah, lots of work left to do. People are hitting the transfer portal left and right, so I'm excited to see who we can bring in. Back to you, Maddie.
Thanks, guys. And we have an amazingly passionate fan base, but not as much for the football team. But UNC's Blue Lightning Stomp and Shake team is bringing energy, culture, and creativity to campus and redefining what cheer can look like. Here's Kristen Dickerson.
Blue Lightning Stomp and Shake is a team that gives a way for students to show school spirit and participate in something that doesn't require the traditional stunts and tumbling of the varsity and intramural cheerleading teams. Stomp and Shake is a form of cheer that originated in the 1970s at historically black colleges and universities. This form of cheerleading mixes the styles of African American stepping and traditional cheer by placing emphasis on sharp body movements and shakes, stomping, and rhythmic chants. This team not only executes their dances, but they also create them.
A lot of times it's really just a group effort. Depending on the performance, everybody just pitches in ideas and moves and words.
These performances mean something to the members of this Blue Lightning team, not only because of the intense practice put in, but also because of the bigger impact it has.
We mainly just want people to feel our energy and our passion because, you know, this is a cultural thing and we bring our own swag to it, our little own 1, 2, boom, boom, pop. So we just want you to feel that.
Yeah, we want y'all to feel like our spirit and just like, you know, really see how much pride we bring.
Blue Lightning Stomp and Shake is a team that embraces friendship, collaboration, and innovation when it comes to creating dances and cheers. Blue Lightning performs in the pit, at homecoming celebrations, at halftimes, and at showcases across the state. I'm Kristen Dickerson, reporting.
As the team continues to grow, they hope their performances continue to honor the roots of Stomp and Shake while inspiring new audiences.
I really hope that I can see them perform at a halftime show. They obviously bring a lot of energy, and I'm sure they can bring a lot of energy to the Dean Dome or Kenan Stadium next year.
Yeah, and speaking of energy, UNC Volleyball needs to bring the energy to Wisconsin. You know they're in it for the big dance.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them perform against UTEP, but they have to bounce back. They had a tough matchup against Miami this weekend, hoping that they can bring energy into the tournament. Now, the Tar Heels came out firing, dominating the first set behind 16 blocks and holding Miami to a stunning negative hitting percentage. The Heels battled again in the second, grinding out a 25-23 win. But Miami flipped the script, taking the final 3 sets to stun UNC with the reverse sweep. Still, there were bright spots. Jackie Taylor and Sophie Hampton each set had career high in blocks, and senior libero Maddie May moved to 3rd all-time in program digs in her final home match.
Boy, we were really good for 2 sets, and I don't think we were bad after that. I think it was just Miami puts a lot of pressure on us from the end line.
Let's hear from our volleyball analyst, Mary Lee Tu, for one last time this semester. A strong start to the season, but 3 losses in the last 4 matches. Still good enough to make the tournament, though.
You're right, Bethany. UNC Volleyball has faced a tough stretch at the end of their season. Although they lost in a reverse sweep to Miami, they nailed a staggering 22 blocks, which seems to be the strong suit for the team. But their main struggle, UNC kept swinging to the libero and couldn't grab those kills. Team energy has also been low, but a win against Virginia highlighted their strength in blocks, as I mentioned earlier. Let's take a look at this clip. UNC right side blockers were ready to go. Just got off the ground, just like the Virginia hitter, sends it back over. The ball quickly comes back to the net, and Haley Pierce is ready. She gets up there, sends the ball right back over. It is plays like this that will keep the Heels dancing in the tournament. And I know the season isn't over just yet, but I am incredibly proud of this team, reaching the 15th ranking in the nation, beating top teams like SMU and Florida. However, they have struggled in the past 4 games, giving them a B+ grade so far. And looking forward, UNC is heading to Wisconsin to play UTEP. UTEP is a higher ranked team, but in my opinion, has faced a significantly weaker schedule than UNC. UNC needs to maintain their high blocking and digging streak and improve ball placement to keep tournament play alive. Now let's toss it to setter Zoe Barrett live from Karen Shelton Stadium. And Zoe, I thought volleyball was an indoor sport.
That's right, Marilee. Today we are switching things up. I'm here with Riley Heck, the GOAT, the MVP of field hockey, and she's going to teach me a little bit of how to play.
I sure am. So Zoe's going to pick up the one and only field hockey stick. It's mine, actually. So she's going to work on the nice hard hit just on cage. So she's going to dribble up and slam it in. See that power she's got? That's a natural. That's what you need in the field hockey game. So she'll be perfect on the corner hits.
And we can't just play field hockey. We have to play some volleyball too. So because I'm a setter, I want Riley to hit the ball, and we're going to just hit it into the net over here. What I'm going to have Riley focus on is keeping her elbow high and just snapping her wrist.
All right, Zoe. So you know how all the college athletes get 5 years? What if I take my 5th year for the UNC volleyball team? What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. We would love to have you on the team. Thank you guys for watching. Back to you guys.
I definitely think that it would be entertaining to see Riley join the Heels, but I do think that she should stick to field hockey. She has a future with the Team USA coming up, so I'm excited to see what she can do.
Yes, both teams made the tournament, and let's keep that to their respective sports.
That's right, but volleyball, as we said, faces UTEP on Thursday, but field hockey season sadly came to a close before Thanksgiving break. To give us the summary of their season, let's toss it over to our field hockey analyst one last time, Sophia Gray.
Thanks, guys. The Tar Heels completed another impressive semester this fall, one defined by grit, consistency, and results against the nation's toughest slate. And with all that considered, I'm going to give them an A- on their season report card. Now, North Carolina navigated the most difficult schedule in the country. They captured the ACC championship and swept rival Duke 3-0. The Heels lost just 2 games all season, and they were both in overtime, including the heartbreaking NCAA semifinals to the defending national champs and current national champs. But even with all that success, the program now faces significant transition. UNC will lose several major contributors, including both Heck sisters, Danny Mendez and Sana Hawk. They will departure, and it will reshape the roster heading into 2026. Still, their foundations remain strong, and UNC starts their journey to bring home the 2026 National Championship trophy.
Thanks, Sophia. The journey for Coach Matson to win her 2nd national championship as head coach continues next August. Now let's toss it over to our women's soccer analyst, Molly Malik, for her season report card. Molly.
Coming off a national championship, expectations were far higher than the results that followed. A 12-6 regular season record left the Tar Heels unseeded in the NCAA tournament. Now we've got early losses to Tennessee and Georgia, which showed that the team was still finding their footing early in the season, but late season losses like their loss to the winless in conference Miami was a turning point for them, effectively derailing the rest of their season and knocking them out of ACC tournament contention. Though the Heels put together a surprising NCAA tournament run, a strong regular season would have yielded an easier postseason, avoiding early matchups with top-seeded opponents and reducing the need for 2 PK finishes. Ultimately, women's soccer earns a C+ on the season. We've come to expect a lot from this team, and this grade represents the highs of the postseason, beating 2 top-ranked teams, coupled with an inconsistent season. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Molly. Losing on PKs is tough, but these seniors leave behind a legacy of perseverance and grit. On a field at UNC, it's not about the score or the stats. It's about the smiles, high fives, and friendship. Ella Kungel introduces us Top Soccer, the first ever college branch of a national program that gives individuals with special needs or disabilities a place to play and belong.
Top Soccer's mission is to create an inclusive and fun environment. Sport has a way of bringing people together, no matter their ability, and this club gives everyone a chance to just play and be themselves.
Every other week, UNC students pair up one-on-one with participants. Together they stretch, run drills, play games, helping build confidence, community, and connection.
Here, every player gets to shine. Whether it's mastering a new skill or just running across the field with friends, everyone is celebrated.
Top Soccer's mission is to create a really inclusive and fun environment, and I think sport is such a great way to bring people together in general, and it's something that we really deal with, like people with many different abilities on any soccer field, and so I think Top Soccer is just a really great place for people with all different abilities, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, whatever it may be, to come together and just play soccer and have fun.
Now, in its third semester, Top Soccer has become more than a club. It's a family. Players look forward to reuniting each session, and volunteers leave reminded of what teamwork and inclusion really means. At Carolina, soccer is the sport, but belonging is the goal. I'm Ella Kungle, reporting.
Top Soccer is looking for volunteers for the spring semester. Check out Heal Life for more information. Now it's time for our men's soccer report card. Here's Ellie Bowman with her grade for the Heels. Ellie.
Thanks, Maddie. For men's soccer, this season was all about resilience and identity. They finished 9-5-6, and those 6 ties tell a big part of the story. They were competitive in almost every game, with 8 shutouts and only 17 goals allowed. And even though the run ended in second round in Maryland, they showed they can hang with anyone in the country. Offensively, the production at the top was strong. Nacho Abiel led the team with 7 goals, 9 assists, and 23 points. Gabriel Brock-Sarah added 5 goals and 5 assists. And Dan Cleat gave them great efficiency with 6 goals in limited minutes. And from the back line, Luka Nicolai only had one of the most complete seasons, 3 goals, 7 assists, and a team-high 55 shots. Defensively, UNC was one of the toughest units in the ACC. Just 17 goals allowed in 20 games and 8 shutouts. And in goal, Andrew Cortez played every minute with a .83 goals against average and a 73% save rate, plus a huge PK save in the NCAA opener. But when you look at this full picture, this team was a bit up and down, and that's why they land at a B. They tied 6 matches, struggled with consistent finishing, and had stretches where they looked great, followed by stretches where the final product just wasn't there. They were good, sometimes very good, but not always great. So for me, it's a solid B. Strong defensive identity, strong top-end production, but room to grow in consistency heading into 2026. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Ellie. Another close loss for one of Carolina's teams.
To end our show, we want to take time to support an important cause that can be spotted around campus and the country. Paige Miller reports about the Live Like Braun Foundation, the legacy that Braun Levy left on Carolina athletics and the whole country.
This past May, 18-year-old Braun Levy had his life tragically taken by an alleged drunk driver. The Live Like Braun Foundation was created by the Levy family to honor Braun's legacy and make the world a better place with more people living like Braun. Braun was a one-of-a-kind kid with a one-of-a-kind personality. He never met a stranger and inspired every single person he crossed paths with, which is why the foundation has gained nationwide support, especially in the Carolina athletics community.
For me, to live like Braun, it means any person you interact with, any room you walk into, any person you cross paths with, you make a friend out of them, you live your life 100%, you don't back down from any opportunity, and you go at it head first with full confidence.
Living like Braun is just living your best life, going into every day looking for the best in people.
For the athletics community at UNC to be supporting the Live Like Braun Foundation, for me, that I think embodies what this whole foundation is about. It embodies continuing to live like Braun, continuing to live your life to the fullest, but also keeping Braun's memory alive through making connections with these athletic programs and bringing these teams together that many of them personally didn't even know Braun. For teams at UNC and also all colleges across the nation and just normal students across UNC all feeling motivated to wear the merch, promote the message is just what the whole foundation is about.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that my team was so willing to and so enthusiastic about, wearing the hats and posting on the Instagram and kind of just wrapping their arms around me kind of just shows the program we have here and, how well these guys and how it's just a tight-knit group we have. The love and the support I've gotten, even though I've only been here for 3 months, is unlike anything I've ever had before. Every weekend, every day, you can see someone wearing a Live Like Braun, you can see a sticker, you can see a post, and it's just in everyone's lives now. And I think it's such a good and constant reminder to kind of live the life he did.
Also, they're promoting a movement that's so much larger than any of us, supporting kids' education in Los Angeles, providing scholarships to underdeserved children that also embody these qualities that Braun led with. It means the world to my family and me that people are being touched by Braun that haven't even met Braun.
I'm Paige Miller, reporting.
Follow the Live Like Braun Foundation on Instagram or visit the website to find out more about the foundation. Maddie, I first heard about the Live Like Braun Foundation from Kit Hoover, a former Husband alum, but I also have seen it all over the country. I was walking the streets of DC a couple months ago, saw people wearing the hats and the sweatshirts, so it really is making an impact not just on Carolina, not just in LA, but around the country.
Yeah, it's making an impact to live your life full of kindness and love and just living it to the fullest, like they said.
I think it's a great message and everyone should follow. Well, that does it for the final fall semester edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back in mid-January to bring you the latest in Carolina athletics.